So there's buy the rumor, sell the news. You have to decide at this point if you're holding through the news or not. What does buy the rumor, sell the news mean? Okay, so buy the rumor, sell the news is an old adage that actually makes a lot of sense, and I'll give you an example. So buy the rumor, sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay? So rumors are what get people in ahead of something, right? They get in ahead of something. The rumor is that Apple is partnering with Fisker to bring the Apple iCar or the iCar, right? This is not actually happening. No, this is not actually happening. I'm making an example, okay? Let's say there's a rumor flying out there that Apple is partnering with Fisker to bring the iCar. Well, there's a rumor. And what happens? Everyone's hoping that that becomes true, and so they buy into that rumor. So they don't buy Apple. Why would they buy Apple? Apple's a multi-trillion-dollar corporation. It's not going to move it. But Fisker, on the other hand, fuck it. If this is true, we're going to make millions. We better get in now. So you buy the rumor. You buy the rumor. Apple comes out and says, after 1 month, Fisker's up 27% in 1 month. And Apple says, on January 15th, we're having a big announcement. Shit. What's it about? We don't know. Fuck, it might be the announcement about Fisker. Shit, we better jump in now before they do it. January 15th hits. It's 12:55. 5 minutes until the announcement. All the rumors. It's going to be about the iCar. It's going to be about the iCar. Fisker's probably going to be the one. Another 10% jump right there. 60%. 12:59. Apple starts a little doom, 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 doom. They do their countdown. You sell your entire position. Apple announcement starts. Hi guys, this is Apple. We have an amazing announcement for you. You can now get a pen for your iPad for $600. Thank you. Fisker drops 10 to 20%. Nothing gets heard of for the next 3 months. Now it's down another 40%. You're still up, though. You're hoping. Apple has decided to partner with Volkswagen for the Apple iCar. Fisker drops 35%. You now take a 10% loss. You bought the rumor. You sold the news. In other words, you're buying the rumor and the hype. You're selling before the actual news. The same thing happened with us with Pfizer. I bought Pfizer way back because I wanted the rumor, and I sold the second that they got their approval. That's an example of buy the rumor, sell the news. There's several other examples out there, but that's when somebody says buy the rumor, sell the news, it's buy the rumor, buy the hype. I mean, look at weed stocks right now. You're literally in a buy the rumor, sell the news situation. What is a rumor? It could be a spoken rumor. It could be a thought rumor. Hey, Dems are controlling. We might get federally legalized weed. That's the rumor. Everyone's buying into weed. Does that happen? Most likely not. They can't even legalize it federally. They'd have to overturn different acts, and then it's a states' rights issue and stuff like that. So even with federal legalized marijuana, you can't travel across state lines, so then it becomes a state issue. Now, they could lower the scheduling. They could technically, through a vote, decriminalize, but they can't legalize it right now, and if they did, it would take forever, and then it's a states' rights issue. But, and even worse than that, all these Canadian companies that are exploding right, or all these weed companies that are exploding right now, are fucking Canadian companies. They can't even fucking sell their shit in the United States. That's why APHA was the one. I did an entire video on YouTube about APHA. That's the only reason I liked APHA. So you're in the middle of the buy the rumor situation. How high does this go on the rumor? Who knows? But you're probably going to see a similar walk down once they actually seat in Congress and nothing gets done. So you're in that right now with the buy the rumor, sell the news. Now, the news might be positive. Solar energy, right? Buy the rumor. Oh, we're going solar. We're going green. Next thing you know, new Congress seats in January. February comes. First thing we do is go back into the the Paris Climate Accord agreement. Boom. All right, we're agreeing to cut our fossil fuels. You know, green energy keeps going up. Boom, we're going to give federal tax credits to people that put in solar. We're going to give states federal funding if they transition from old energy to new energy. Hey, we're going to give Ford and GM a huge tax credit or cut their corporate tax if they start moving into electric vehicles. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So there's buy the rumor, sell the news. You have to decide at this point if you're holding through the news or not.
Where do you get your news from? All over the place. There's so much plethora of knowledge. Stay away from the idiot sites that pump and dump stuff or a bunch of random people and look at actual stuff. There's amazing knowledge on a lot of people on Twitter. Obviously you have websites like MarketWatch, Seeking Alpha, CNBC, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, you have that. But there's also a lot of other places on the internet where you find stuff. I found out about the GOEV rumor and about exactly what was going on yesterday morning, and it wasn't anywhere on any headlines. I found it completely somewhere else, and I dove into it. That doesn't mean it was a buy or sell. I just wanted to let people know what was the potential rumor about and where the news was coming from and to understand it. So if they did make a play on it, they knew what they were making a play on, regardless of what size. Everything, we talked about weed stocks a bunch lately, okay? Buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Buy the rumor is Dems take office. Everybody thinks they're going to legalize weed or they're going to make legislation for that. It's going to run. Well, now we have the people actually taking office. Will they actually do any decriminalization? Because they're not going to legalize it federally. They can't. They just wouldn't. Could they decriminalize it or lower the scheduling? Sure, they could. But the only issue is are they likely to? And if they are, is that the first thing on their agenda, especially with COVID happening? Probably not. So there's a good chance that we could see this bounce around for a long time before we get any kind of announcement. Why won't they legalize it? Because for them to do that, remember, this is the United States of America. And I think a lot of people forget, especially outside the United States, forget that we're actually not just a country. We're a country comprised of states, and we have this thing called states' rights, right? Our states are supposed to have more individual power than the federal government overall. Like, they have to all get together to change things. So one party or one person or one king or whatever can't change everything, right? And so we have a federal legalization and decriminalization. Now, could they decriminalize it or legalize it at the federal level? Sure. But the amount of outrage from each state would be crazy. So they would be smarter to either work at it slowly by like lowering the scheduling and then the next time making no schedule. And if they were to make the next move, they would decriminalize and not legalize. And the reason is because they made it a crime. They can decriminalizing it. Legalizing it on the federal level does not mean that state to state has to abide by that. Okay, so they wouldn't just be like, well, we're legalizing it. First of all, the southern states and the conservative states probably wouldn't be on board with a constitutional amendment, number one. And number two, legalizing versus decriminalizing, big difference, but it's a step in the right direction. And that's more likely going to happen. And if it does happen, also remember that if states legalize, it's not the feds that are legalizing. If it's not the feds that are legalizing it, then Canadian companies are not going to be the ones that can produce and distribute. So you got to go from it. I did an entire video on APHA, guys, if you want to know my thoughts on it. Banks are a bit overbought right now, but I think that this pullback gives a buying opportunity. The concern with banks right now is that you're looking at two things. One, a shitload of free money for them, right? Stimulus checks, we've already talked about it. Where are people going to be putting that stimulus check? So either going to be A, paying off credit card, loan or mortgage debt, which goes to the banks, or they're going to stick it in savings, which is free money for the banks to sit and invest or loan more money out. Huge for them. Plus, they're already doing buybacks and divvies. The concern for banks right now, and this is why it's a 50-50, is that does the new Congress come in and start slapping new taxes and new regulations on them? So you've got investors worried. If we don't see that in the first rollout of bills and packages, I would expect banks to do really well with the stimulus. As far as Blink, you're seeing an actual rotation from mid and small cap stocks back into large cap stocks. I broke that down in depth during the call this morning of potential. Obviously, that's speculative what I'm talking about, but I see Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, all of them have been kind of choppy for the last several weeks, while mid cap and small cap stocks have just gone to the moon, right? And now obviously retail traders are what start that, and then big institutions will throw money at that and make money on the way up. But then once that kind of cools off, it's let's put it back into these blue chip stocks. And then you see that money move from mid cap back into big cap stocks. And look at Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google from yesterday and today. Notice how they've been flat forever. Now all of a sudden they're going up at the same time these mid caps are coming down. It's just money moving, okay? Will it move back in? Potentially. We'll see.